to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Frivolity. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, tastes great. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, can't wait. Wow, what a move. I think, I don't know whether I did this in the free video yesterday. Maybe somebody can remind me. But we did talk about a potential for an incredibly explosive event here in crypto. Well, I guess specifically Bitcoin. Yesterday, when we looked at the MACD study, and I watched the MACD histogram really closely, and as soon as I saw that image yesterday, I was like, "Oh Jesus, we're building to something big." So get ready, folks. Can somebody confirm me? Did we do that in the public video, or did we do that just in the after party yesterday? Nick, you were around yesterday. Do you remember? And Glass Insights, I think you're here like almost every day. You guys remember? Was it in the after party? Man, it was an incredible conversation because it's everything that I sort of worry about happening with the markets is that, as you come into the end of these moves, oh my God, you get some just absolutely insane price action. And unfortunately, I think that's what we just saw here. Let's see, where the hell do I have that chart? Actually, it's funny. I was just chatting with one of our futures traders in that room, and he's like, "You still look at Stamp? What the hell are you talking about? I haven't seen a Stamp chart in forever." But I love watching Stamp. Anyway, so this is sort of my short-term view. We clearly went and M'd out here, so I do believe the rally is done for the short term here. And wow, holy crap! Is there not? I mean, I don't think I could actually create a better sales pitch for is it in your best interest to subscribe to TRI's crypto algo signal? And what's fascinating was the market was breaking down here and we got a nice little sell signal. So ironically enough, if you had taken the short off of here, you made a bit of money, and then holy crap, market turns back up. That was the date of the buy signal, and wow, what a move. Holy for holies. I guess what I wanted to show you guys, although it might be a little difficult, actually, and I was even talking with Coinigy peeps. I did a bunch of tutorials for them on things like retracements and extensions and chaos level. And I think you actually can make the argument that oh my God. I mean, there's so much we could talk about here today. I don't know what I'm going to do for the free broadcast. There's just a million things we can talk about. I remember when I did the video, and we probably should circle back at the end of this video to do this, but this is a concept that I like to teach in our education program called the parking garage. So we've got that level there that has been sort of floating out for quite a while. And if this was an inverted head and shoulders, we probably should head up to this 200% extension level. And then, of course, we've got Colin and his dump chaser crew. They're watching 38.2 to 50% levels. So we're coming in. I think that was a pretty important level. And then I think you can make the argument, although I can't remember how I did this, but, on tomorrow when we get together with the Coinigy people, tomorrow's Wednesday. I think I'd like to go through all of these three different studies that all suggested. There was a pretty high probability that we had to work our way up into here. And then, of course, if you actually think about horizontal support and resistance, and ironically enough, this is the original massive M top. And this M top is important because they actually got a bunch of people thinking W's here and getting bullish, and they all got just bitch slapped. In fact, actually, I did a crude oil trade this morning, and this chart actually almost looks identical to it, where my trading partner and we were short off of the top end of the range. I can even show you that chart. Here it is here. So here was our opening range trade setup. I strapped on a few of the micros, let one go, took some profits, let another go, took some profits. Then we sort of left the call at that point that, okay, we got our stop at scratch on the remaining contracts. So we'll just see what happens. Hell, I'm already up, like 60, 70 some odd ticks just on these two contracts. And like a doofus, I went and I thought that this was an inverted head and shoulders. So I moved my stop from 85.75 down to a break of this because it looked like an inverted head and shoulders. They stopped me out here, and look how much money I left on the table today. Ay caramba! But I was exceedingly pleased when I talked to my trading partner, who said, well, actually, I'm still short, Brian, because I didn't act like a chicken shit and move my stop, and my stop's still sitting at scratch. And this is a really good analogy that sometimes in the futures business, especially if you can get these opening range trades on, one of these opening range trades could literally pay for your entire month's production. And wow, what an excellent analogy of that. So anyway, that's my day trading. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I've made money today. Account balance is moving up. And the good, it used to, when I was at Top Step and I was funded with them, they always called me a scratch trader because I would basically just spend most of my time, I'm up a few hundred, down a few hundred, up a few hundred. But on balance, month after month, I was just scratching. Then every once in a while, I'd go on like a crazy win streak and knock the cover off the ball. So this is a really good analogy of Brian as a scratch trader. Got to get into the habit of letting that damn winner run. And my trading partner is making big bucks here today on his runner. So congratulations, trading partner. You know who you are. Well done. And if anything, what a great analogy to have a trading partner where, if I actually was talking with him, I had to go and do other things because I'm running 20 different fucking businesses here at present. It took my eye off the ball. If I had just talked to him through this, he probably would be like, well, Brian, I thought the plan was we were just going to leave this runner at scratch. Anyway, I second guessed myself, and oh well, that's the way it goes. Anyway, back to our Bitcoin conversation. In a weird sort of way, do you see the similarity of the chart pattern? So I bet there were a lot of people that shorted this and then put their stop just above here, and then the market pops up, runs that liquidity event, and then just continues on its way. So, this is the fractal nature of trading. Is you're actually going to find that you'll see the same chart pattern off of, like, keep in mind, this is like a 30-second chart that I do these opening range. In fact, actually, when the trade is just put on, I actually take it right down to like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, because I want to see this opening range in detail. And off of like a 1 minute chart, it's just one bar. So, but what an interesting analogy that the universe is a fractal. And you're going to see the same patterns off of things like this happens to be a 30-second chart. You're going to see the same patterns off of daily charts, weekly charts. It's remarkable how that works. And if anything, maybe that's your lesson for the day is just understand that the universe is a fractal and it doesn't matter. You're going to see the same price patterns off of 10-second charts, 1 minute charts, 5 minute charts, daily charts, weekly charts, monthly charts, quarterly charts. It's quite remarkable. So anyway, as you can see, I'm all full of piss and vinegar here this morning. The irony of it all is, the algo, we're trying to promote the idea of subscribing to our pro package. I spent probably the better part of 20, 30 years of my career building this algorithmic approach to understanding the breadth of the market and the way the market the rising tide lifts all boats, a sinking tide sinks all boats. And what a beautiful analogy, this crypto market, that signal there, especially coming off of oversold. So you had both the fast and the slow were in the oversold camp. You had a W come in on the fast signal line. And I mean, this thing it just hasn't looked back, eh? I mean, just absolutely incredible. And if anything, this is what I really, really like about this algorithmic approach is its job is not to tell you the exact moment when to buy, when to sell. The algo's job is just to simply have you on the right side of sort of the inertia of the market. What is the correct positioning? Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to hit the exact top or bottom. And this, I mean, just watching these signals over the past month or two, this is exactly what the algo is designed to do. At this point over here, the right side of the market was to be short. Do you take some profits on this dump here? That's up to you and your trading plan. As of this point, the right side of the market is to be long. As of this point, the right side of the market's to be short. As of this point, this was a little bit hasty, but nonetheless, I think on balance it was right. This point, the right side of the market was to be long. There's your W that comes in. And then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, what should happen here is it should just have you correctly positioned. I should be thinking long here. Now, how big or small the move is, well, that's up to the market. And turns out that this particular signal turned into a very, very big signal. And it's just the way algo trading goes. You just don't know. But you have to have the professionalism to get short, get long, get short, get long, get short, get long, blah, 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 blah. And, this is why actually algos do really, really well in trading is that, the humans, after like 4 or 5 of these sort of wash moves where we're kind of just stuck in a trading range, the humans go, this is so fucking boring. Why did I bother with this? I don't want to live this life. I'm constantly having to fucking take trades and then all of a sudden this happens and holy Shiite Muslim. So yeah, you're right. Like Josh even says there, like what an image. I mean, if I wanted to sell a subscription package, that's the image right there that you want to promote. And holy shit, you know what? What's interesting here is, and even Sjord, who actually helped me bring the code into the 21st century. Thank you very much, Sjord. And no doubt about it, I couldn't do this without this as a team effort. So it's an entire team. Josh there in the chat room there over on YouTube. He's a big part of this team, as well as Julian and Stuart. I mean, we're all working at this as a team. So don't get me wrong. This isn't some sort of toot Brian's horn. This is a toot TRI's horn. TRI as a team has brought this into reality, and it's a fucking kick-ass system here. Just so over the top pleased with what's happening here. And, just FYI, we're running this. We want to demonstrate that we are actually taking the trades. So it is important that you all understand that. And every single trade that is done here, the only question is what screen do I have it on here? Too many screens, too many screens. But every single trade that we do here, and oh, by the way, if you trade altcoins, holy crap, there are W's. Didn't somebody say something like you better get your skirt together over the past 6 months? And I do find it hilarious that if you go out into the public, they have no interest in shalt coins right now. And yet these shalts, I think they just look so awesome. They're so ready to go. They look like what Bitcoin looked like 6-8 months ago. I can't justify coming in and investing new money in Bitcoin right now. This is, it's actually coming into technical objectives. So, take profit objectives. But there are a lot of names that are putting in just the most prettiest bottoms. I think look at that little LTO. You can see he's getting ready to go. But there were a couple of them this morning that I was looking at that were just like, oh my God, this looks incredible. But geez, like I said, I got like 20 different things going through my brain right now here today. Trading crude. And then I go and look at crypto and I'm like, why the fuck am I bothering trading crude and futures? The crypto bull is starting to come back, folks. And if you want to make money, I love trading venture cap because, oh my God, I mean, you just don't see these kind of moves in a crude oil contract. It's not going to double, triple, quadruple kind of idea in a day. Um, of course, this always happens to me when I got 20 different thoughts going through my brain all at the same time. Look at this one. This one just looks incredible. Look at that. Oh, you cute little W. This is a weekly chart. Look at the daily chart. Oh my goodness, he's getting ready to go. I think this guy, he's already gone. Oracles. If anything, remember we had talked about Link recently, and in the call that I'll do with the Coinigy guys tomorrow, we'll have lots of fun reviewing that trade. But I wanted to point out there was a couple names. Of course, why the fuck can't I find them right now while I'm talking to you guys? I should probably pull up the charts ahead of time, eh? I think somebody even said recently, Brian, that maybe you should just do a little bit of organization before you do these shows. Look at this one. Oh my God, this ARPA. I mean, look at that. You can see the W's are coming in here. And look at the OBV. And look at the W's in the indicators. Willie was stupid. Oh my God, get ready, folks. I sure hope you have your trading plans already. I think this LIT I was looking at, yeah, looks like he's getting ready to go here. So you can see I'm buying away here on all of these things. I mean, it just, this market just looks so incredible. In fact, actually, I think Chris's name, one of his names, I think just looks really good. Yeah, it's already gone. I was kind of hoping this thing would come back down to the bottom. I hope it doesn't take off. I think I remember this LDO. Look at that W right there. Oh my goodness, you can see it. Look at the volume coming in here, folks. Oh goodness. Anyway, we could spend. So be sure to tune into the Coinigy show tomorrow night, because we'll probably spend a good couple hours just going out name after name after name, and Brian just losing his lunch over how bullish he is right now. I can't believe like we've been sitting here waiting for like 2 years for this damn bull to come back, and now it's finally looks like it's starting to come back. So congratulations, all you risk takers and all the people that have their shit together. Like guys like Eddie and stuff like that. That guy should be so stinking rich by the end of this move. But the point here is you can see these bottoms are all coming in. In fact, actually, this is another one that where did it go? That the gentleman I was chatting with in the day trader room this morning, he saw this one and he's like, "Hey, check this one out, Brian." And I'm like, "Yeah, just add it to the pile." It's remarkable how bullish these things look. This sand. I don't know whether he's ready to go on a weekly basis. I was looking at this on a log chart. That's why. Look at this on a daily chart. Oh, this is just regular sort of non-logarithmic look. Are we back down at or below reload zones? I mean, is this the place where little old ladies can come in and start accumulating these? Absolutely. I mean, this is everything I'm trying to teach you guys. Do we have indicators spitting out W's? I mean, I used to work with this guy, Da Vinci. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see. The bear is ending. If anything, that my sort of education on using RSI, I look for this kind of W to come in to say that the bear slide is over. And if we get another W and it happens to come through the 50 line, oh, gee whiz, look at that high is 48. So if we blast off through here, this thing's going to take off like a rocket. And I mean, you tell me, is there any money to be made on this market? I mean, this stuff's ridiculous. So, I mean, they're just everywhere. Right? So, I mean, I sure hope you have your shit together. Look at that daily W there. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. And, I mentioned Da Vinci, right? Because this was sort of his gift to the world. And what's fascinating about Dav, I don't even know if he even trades anymore because he's so fucking rich. But on our free platform, 30-day trial, I don't want to take ownership of Dav signals. And I really don't like how people do that. So, he's part of our community. And I like the idea of promoting him. And of course, if he wants to come in and say, "Hey, Brian, take that off," fine. But he developed this while at TRI, while in the education program. And I think it's a totally awesome trading system, the Davos. And really all they're looking for is just show me W's and indicators and price. I want to see volume. I want to see price momentum, right? And you get these kind of moves. Woo-wee, look at that. So I don't know whether we have new signals being generated on this. I guess, middle to the end of October. So I guess I don't know where. I guess that was that signal there. Yeah, I would prefer to buy W. So if you had bought this W down here, that would have been a little better. Actually, this one kind of crapped out. We were Wing out, but then it broke down. So I have anything good analogy of risk management. Um, so I guess what I'm trying to say here is when I do start seeing W's come in on the indicators, that gets me super excited. I think this is a pretty good looking one right there. You can see the W in price, W in OBV, W in RSI, W in Willie. Take a screenshot of this. This is your sort of your free message of the day. Looks like we're getting a huge W coming in on MACD. Try and look for this kind of situation where you get W's across your indicators, W's across your price, and get in there. I mean, what I like about this bad boy is if you start drawing some downtrend lines, let's just go off of there, where these W's are all starting to come in on the other sides of trend lines. That's another setup that we do at TRI called the LJ. So, I mean, I've said this recently. I don't think I can come in and buy something like Bitcoin right here. And I don't have a problem with people saying, well, the trade was just to buy bit. No, I can't buy that, right? You saw where at the very least where the last algo signal was. It was down here at 26. So that sets up a trade. And I've said here repeatedly over the past little while, that was basically this double bottom right in here. Okay, I mean, if you're a trader, totally awesome. You're subscribing to the algo and the algo just does its thing. And wow, what a move. I can't justify coming in and buying even this kind of move here. I can't do it. I'm sorry. But and what's interesting is our trading platform to try and keep you on the right side of the market. We also have the weekly commodity trend survey. And actually, I've shown you this. We have this weekly commodity trend survey. I used to run this as a commodities broker. But we even have this weekly commodity trend survey for the crypto market. That's what this is. And, hopefully now you can understand when Brian says fives are just like, oh my God, this is incredible. All we need is just a little bit of upside momentum. And all of a sudden, we're going to start getting buy signals all over the map. I wouldn't, this is updated on a weekly basis based on the fact that a bunch of W's are starting to come in. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some sixes out of these altcoins here. And ironically enough, because Bitcoin is already actually rallied up, hey, it's actually starting to flash signals that, maybe just leave this thing alone for the time being. I don't know whether I like the idea of shorting here, but definitely, ones and twos and all that kind of stuff here. That means that there's no way in hell I can be a buyer. So ironically enough, I'm actually very interested in the Schultz. I'm not so interested about buying Bitcoin. And if anything, what I would expect is if you are long Bitcoins and stuff that, hopefully you're paying yourself a little bit, especially if you had the patience and discipline to come in and buy off the bottoms, right? Look at all my funny little memes and stuff here. Still climbing the wall of worry. I guess that's the theme of the market. And I was even posting recently that, in fact, actually, here, why don't we just show you the tweet? I didn't really know which way this thing was going to break, but it was just sort of like, if this is a massive head and shoulders fractal top, then this is where the bear has to step in. But we even said that as long volume and price momentum have not rolled over, Willie isn't stupid. Bull's still awake. Bear div's broken. So it's too early to call a top. And if really a bull, let's go take out those highs, right? And so that, if anything, that's a great analogy. We were wondering how was she going to act up here? Were we going to get tops coming in here? And we just didn't get anything. It'll be interesting to see whether a top forms up top here. I don't see it yet. When I first woke up this morning, it was just like, holy Shiite Muslim. there is that top we were asking, does an M come up here? Does momentum divergences come up here? Nothing. So basically, better not stick your neck in a noose through that. I know we did have a couple people take short shots on things like futures contracts right here. I don't have a problem with that. You know how often Brian's favorite fib works. And you can see there was a little bit of back and forth off the lower time frames, but man, there was just no reason to call a top there. And sure enough, kapow. What I do find interesting about this level is, if we do things like low to high trend lines, especially off of things like, I think it's like the 4 hour chart. I had drawn this trend line off of that pivot low and this pivot high. And it was interesting that when we originally made that original top, we had quite a fight at that level. So are we going to do the same thing up here now? We basically tagged that exact same level again. And you can see we're starting to get a little exhausted. Off of the 4 hour chart, does it make sense that traders are going to start saying, okay, do we have bearish momentum divergences forming here? We look at our indicators, nothing yet on the MACD to indicate divergence. That to me says that probably we're going to have to go and make another high and something along those lines. And we have to look down at the MACD and we have to see that it does not make a new high. And then we'll know that those bear divs are starting to come in. So they haven't come in yet. Is RSI overbought? Absolutely. Is Willie stupidly overbought? Absolutely. Do we have bear divs in things like Willie? Yes, we do. Do we have a bear div in volume? Not quite yet. Still pretty chunky up here. But you'll notice that this push up top here was on lower volume than this push up here. So, for those people that are taking our education program, you want a very clear message that the bulls have fallen asleep. What we want to see is 3 lower highs in the volume bars, and that starts creating our volume impetus. We even talked about this yesterday. I think I did it in the after party though, where you could see that yesterday there was a potential for those 3 lower highs. Boom, 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 boom. But that would imply that we had to have a volume bar lower than this volume, which is basically 50 contracts on a 4 hour basis, or in essence, the buyers just ran out of buying interest. And you notice that that never came in here. There was a potential. Okay, look at that. We got maybe 3. Oh, if the buyers just disappear, this could be trouble. And kapow! The buyers came back in size, smashing this high. Boom. You see you later. And now we're back to 2 highs. So if we do another big green dildo bar here, maybe something like that, and then you have a very, very low volume bar here, green bar, then you'll know that maybe we have a new top coming in. Right now, nothing. And look at the indicator. The indicator actually went and W'd out there. And what I teach people in our education program is look at the volume pattern. And then, if you do have signs that, hey, maybe this thing's topping out, look at the indicator and just get confirmation of what you're seeing out of the volume pattern in the indicator. And the indicator clearly put in a big ass W and broke out on this candle right here, which completely smashed any volume top that was coming in. And I got to say, that bar, that bar, that bar, that bar, this is a 4 hour basis. Put all of these together, you're going to start getting like daily chunky bars. Yep, sure enough, look at that. On a daily basis, we're now breaking out volume wise. There's no top here anywhere in sight right now. So I could understand, for whatever it's worth, and I think I showed you this chart earlier. Which one was it? Yeah, this one. I could understand for the lower time frames, there's some gaps here, right? And if you are trading this and you want to sort of keep an eye, look at Willie, stupidly overbought. Do we have the MACD bear div in yet? No. But you can see the volume, and we're starting to exhaust ourselves. A little bit of an M in the indicator coming in. you can see the sellers are stepping up here a little bit. So if you're thinking about, I'd like to join this party, I think at the very least, you've got to look for things like 38.2s. And notice that gap. We all know what the statistical probability of that gap being filled in is. Yeah, I might go off of something like that low there. So interesting how reload zone is basically against the POC, which kind of makes sense. And if we think about gaps being filled in, there's a gap there, there's a gap there, and there is a gap there. So I might suggest that maybe you start hunting for market structure to come in off of these respective levels. What do you think the odds are that that's right around the 50% level? What do you think the odds are that that's basically 38.2? Interesting how if we just look at this price action, notice where's value and where's the shelf. Like, look how what should probably happen here. Of course, never a good idea to sort of make predictions, but if this thing does actually correct here, then I think it makes sense to look for the market to come back down against that shelf. This is also the top of value. And fill in this area here. And you notice that that fills in that gap. And oh, what a big surprise. I think I even did this as sort of a public statement the other day. What's a 50% leverage retracement? You should always, always, always ask what a 50% retracement is. And if I was thinking trend continuation of this huge move, then you know that at the very least, what I need to see is a 33% correction. And at the very most, I don't want to see it go beyond 66 if this is indeed trend continuation. So that sets up there 33. Interesting. That's right at that gap level. So at the bare minimum, I'd like to see the market come down. We like to call this a notch on the volume profile, or you could call this a MUOC kiss, meaning that the market probably needs to come down and fill all this in. If the market does find, like, once we've done this and then we find actually 3 higher lows, well, then I can start thinking bullish bot trend continuation. For the time being, I think just me personally, if I actually see that this market goes to new highs, but the MACD indicator does not go to new highs, remember we talked about this just a moment ago, then I actually have to start thinking, okay, maybe we have actually a serious top coming in here. But as long as we're making higher highs and higher lows, I don't really want to get in front of this thing. Just let it do its thing. And then if we look at the bigger picture, like the weekly price chart, which I show you repeatedly, and we're probably running out of time. Chris wants to tell me to wind this up. And actually, I think I'm going to do this with the Coinigy guys on Wednesday because we did some great tutorial material for them a while ago. Yeah, here's this chart. So we'll just sort of finish off big picture kind of conversation. This is where we started it. I've been blabbing away for a half an hour, so I think probably want to wind this up here pretty soon, the free broadcast. What are some higher time frame levels? I do like the idea that 877s, quite often when you get big blow off tops, 877s is a great sort of level to watch for that Foggenbaum kind of idea. Remember we had said the parking garage. And if you think about this as in just simplest terms, this is a inverted head and shoulders. So just to keep this really simple, we'll get rid of all these extension levels. 200% is your inverted head and shoulders price objective. So that head and shoulders looks something like boom, 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 boom. And all you do is you just take your, you'll take your fib tool, the fib retracement tools, and all you got to do is put 100, 1.0, 2.0, and 0. And so quite literally, if you get a breakout of the inverted head and shoulders, the target, and this is what's called a measured move, is basically a replication of this range up top. And actually, this is what we teach in the education program, trying to understand measured moves. Also, too, Colin and the dump chasers, this would be a very natural sort of, I like to call this the first stop target, because you never know in this crazy game. maybe we just come up to that and then we put in an M and then we work our way back down. So sometimes the first stop is the only stop, but I like to call that the first stop target. And on balance, any given point in time, any chart, anywhere, I always suggest that you throw on the 38.2s because you should expect this kind of move at any given point in time. So not a big surprise that we actually eventually worked our way up into this level here. But as I said before, I mean, I can't be a buyer. I can't invest in this thing. You know, if you've watched any of my videos over the years, you know exactly where I was telling you this thing was spitting out fives and sixes down here, way at the bottom end of the range. W's coming in, moving averages turning up. That's where I want to be a buyer of Bitcoin. And even now, I mean, it kind of sucks. I don't know where the hell the top on this thing is. You know, if we do a fog and bomb off of this range alone, you know, 200%, actually, this would be a, excuse me, just simple trading range. If we do chaos theory off of this, then that means that low is higher than that low. There's no reason why this can't go up to 2.618. And oh, lo and behold, that's 50% level. So 42 G's, it's definitely on the books potential. Here, a lot of guys recently were saying, you know, like Tyler guy, Chico crypto guy I like to listen to. He says his year-end prediction's 38,000, so it looks like he's going to be vindicated. There was another guy who said that I think that this thing's going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. Okay, well, if you got to do what you got to do, I suppose. If this thing turns into some fucking runaway bull market, my next big objectives right now, and this makes sense, 50% level. I think that's logical and a play against these highs. 4.669 would basically be a revisit of the historic highs. I'm not going to get into the prediction game, but I'll just simply say that if we do run up and tag 2.618, and then we do a bit of backfilling and we don't revisit this level here again and turn back up, well, that's got to be my next objective up there. And then also too, if we did things like, you know, reload zones off of this entire range, that would make sense. Oh yeah, what a big surprise. 4669s are right up against Brian's favorite fib. So, you know, as I said, let's run up and let's see how we do against 2.618s here. If we resolve bullishly through that level, then next one will be to keep an eye on this 57, 58,000. And then if all hell breaks loose, just like you saw off the lower time frames, we might just get a stab all the way up into this 90,000 area. So anyway, fasten your seatbelts, crypto kids. It looks like the bull run ain't done yet. I mean, if I'm thinking about a trade right now in Bitcoin, then clearly what I want to see is a consolidation here. And I want to see at least 33%, no more than 66, 3 higher lows, blah, 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 sets up bots. And you know how all that goes. And, you know, as I said, algos long from the bottom. And if anything, what I'm a little bit concerned about here in the short term, for whatever it's worth, you know, just keep in mind, Brian loves to worry. He's always worried. But you notice that the algo itself has actually hit 100. This thing can't go much above 100. So could we use a little bit of backfilling here? Maybe a little bit, calm things down a bit here, and, you know, maybe put in a new W to set up that next move higher. Yeah, that's probably logical. And, you know, the manual indicators that I built really is ridiculously stupidly overbought now and is actually in divergence. I suppose the only thing that we're missing here, we don't have a volume top yet. We don't have a MACD div. We don't even really even have an RSI div yet. So I like the idea of some sort of top coming in here, but it's just not there yet. And if you are hunting tops, just be patient and let all this set up here. I don't think we go straight down here. I think there's going to be a bit of play up here. And then, of course, you know, to finish off all of this, why is this happening? Obviously, it's to do with the whole ETF issue. And, you know, is that approved? Could we get that kind of official announcement over the next few days that actually marks this big fundamental event. Keep in mind, folks, the eclipse window is coming to an end. So once this eclipse window is done, bullish expectations following that eclipse event and then following the FOMC event, I don't know. I think that's kind of pushing it. So now you can make the argument market's starting to get overbought. We're hitting a lot of big upside objectives. Hearing a lot of this sort of the bears in crypto are now acquiescing and turning bull. If anything, when Julian does his broadcast on Thursday, maybe we can see if we can get him to talk a little bit about the public sentiment of Bitcoin, because he likes to follow those sentiment indicators. But now that we've done this big pop, once we get through this eclipse window, and then we've got fucking Chair Powell staring us in the face, I think bullish expectations following that might be a little bit limited. Anyway, wow, that sure was a mouthful, eh? Good 40 minutes of rant there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Tell you, these shell coins just look absolutely perfect here. So I love it. I'm in here actually buying. I bought a couple more names over the weekend. And we'll be having Coinigy video public broadcast tomorrow evening. So be sure if you can to tune into that. And we should be talking shell coins out the butt. And just to give you an idea, I mean, we were even actually, you know what? I got to shut up. Okay. Have yourselves a great day. Come on over to the after party. Sjord's probably sitting there going, gee whiz, would you stop talking so we can get on to the after party? It is Sjord's day. You want to hear from the horse's mouth. Sjord is the gentleman who put all this together, brought my DI index and the breadth concept into the 21st century. He is the one that actually is the guy, the genius behind the programming. So maybe pop on over to the after party and we'll see what is on Sjord's mind here today and what he's seeing in the market. All right. Have yourselves a great day. All the best. PMA for the win. And bye for now.